I want to make sure I have the right Mishabera on. I do. Good Shabbos.
Yai, We come together tonight for Shabbat Shuvah, our Sabbath of return, our Sabbath that is made to help us reflect on our lives, to think about how we've lived these last 12 months, what we've gone through, what we've been through, what we've done, how we've impacted the lives of others, and to weigh our deeds and our actions and remember a time where we felt pure, where we felt new, and to figure out a path to get back to that place of being. This is the Sabbath of remembrance. It is also the Sabbath that we remember 9/11, 20 years ago. We remember where we were. We remember how we felt. We remember all the things that we did following 9/11. Even with 9/11, we think back to a time before. And sometimes we can return in our lives back to a period before we did or said something we ought not to. And sometimes we can't. Sometimes the future is irrevocably changed, but we learn how to live with it. and we plot a new life forward. So in our Sabbath of return, we don't just think about what happened, but we think about how to live going forward. So I want to invite each of you, before we enter our worship tonight, to think about the life you wish to live and how to get to that moment.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Ina Horn, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Anshe Emeth Memorial Temple. As we gather on this Shabbat Shuvah, I echo Rabbi Baisley's sentiments that may we use this incredible opportunity to reflect on the year that was, as we seek to return to our best selves in the year that is to come. Now it is my pleasure to invite Becky Freeman and Mark Tauber, along with Sabrina, Chloe, Benjamin T., and Benjamin S., up to the bima to light the Shabbat candles in honor of Sabrina's bat mitzvah tomorrow. The blessings may be found on pages 2 and 3 of your prayer book. Mazel tov to Sabrina and her entire family. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehalagner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who follows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lemadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on pages 20 and 21 for L'Chadodi.
Lechadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מכרם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך ההפכה, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתי עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי. קורבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי אורי שיר דמרי. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תיכלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תמי בך יחסו. עניי עמי ונבנתה עיר עתילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו לבשי שושייך ורחקו, כל בבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, תמסוס חתן על כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת
We rise now in either body or spirit.
Shalom, ateret ba'la gam besimcha, uvetzola toch emunei, am segula, boi chala
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadar veyitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chai echod u'vyom echod u'v'chai kol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimeru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam ul'al me'arbaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam ve'yitnasei ve'yitadar ve'yit'aleh ve'yithalal shemei de kudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata ve'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'yimeru Amen.
We rise now in body or spirit on page 28 for the Baruch Hu. Page 31. Together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim.
Torah ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The
May
high
heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day
when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף להם. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We continue on page 43 with the second reading. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over as we go forth. Prepare us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haforesh sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Ashkifenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חופץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, כותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חופץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, כותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המלך הקדוש.
We will now continue with silent prayer. You may draw inspiration from pages 53 through 63 or pray what is on your heart. Please be seated when you are ready to continue. As a new intern here at Anshe Emeth, I'm very excited to be here on the Bima to properly introduce myself. And I want to take this moment to formally come out to the congregation as a cat person. Yes, I have always loved cats. I was born this way. I know that this congregation is accustomed to Rabbi Baisley and his beautiful dog Toodles, but I assure you that nothing in the Torah says that a cat person cannot be a rabbi. Here, I answer to God and the Jewish people, but at home, I answer to a 5-pound white fluff ball named Casper, and he has a lot of opinions. This may sound strange, and I'm not too proud to admit that it's likely projection, but I've learned a lot from how my 2-year-old cat processes his emotions. He gets angry at me a lot, with good reason. The lack of treat distribution in our house, my constant denial of his access to his bed, by which I mean my laptop. I'm always mistaking playtime for things like dinner time or homework time. It's unreasonable, truly. But I see him get angry and he'll meow plaintively or walk away from me or ignore me in that aloof way that cats do. But he always forgives. He comes back. But I recently upset my cat at a new level. My partner, Maureen, and I recently moved from our home in Northern California to Jersey City. And he showed us that he was upset by running away. 3 times, actually. He ran away 3 times in the month of August. And it was very stressful. There were tears. But after 3 escapes, I understand Casper's pattern. He spends some time in the outside world, and then once the sun has set, there aren't very many people around, not a lot of noise, he comes home. All 3 times I found Casper, I was on my umpteenth walk around the block calling for him, and he would respond to me crying, run up to me like he had missed me so much on his day outside, though he was the one who chose to spend it there, and run into my arms and purr. It's important to know how to come back after you've been gone for a while. I think Casper has a leg up on me in this regard. Shabbat Shuvah means the Shabbat of return. And sometimes I think that we skip too quickly from Shuvah to Teshuvah. Teshuvah we usually translate as repentance or forgiveness, but Shuvah is at the very heart of Teshuvah. You see, our word for sin, chet, actually means to stray or to miss the mark. So in sin, we stray, and in Teshuvah, we return. Our good friend Maimonides outlines a simple 3-step process for Teshuvah. 1, confession, recognize that you've strayed. 2, apologize. This is where we would create repair with whoever had been victimized by our sin, ourselves, God, someone in the community. And 3, vow, commit to never straying again. This is where we get our shuvah in Teshuvah. We return to the way that we were before the sin. We become just as pure as we were before the sin occurred. We return, and returning makes us whole. Return feels like a loaded concept these days. Are we returning? Is the world going back to the way it was in 2019? Or are these new strains of COVID returning us to the lockdown of March 2020? Is there a normal to return to anymore? These are big questions that everyone seems to be asking, whether they're asking them out loud or doing our new awkward dance when we greet each other. Do we hug and hold our breath? Elbow tap, vague nod of recognition. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to the big questions. I haven't gotten to the part of rabbinical school where they teach us to divine the future, but I'll let you know when I do. Might be 5th year. But I think there are smaller, more personal questions at the heart of these big questions that we do have the power to answer. If the world is a different place than it was 18 months ago, who am I in that world? What do I believe about a world that seems to be plagued by constant tragedy? Not just pandemic, but climate change, racism, misogyny, transphobia, violent disregard for the suffering of others. If we are going back to the world the way it was before, how do I go back to the person I was before? If these questions feel easy for you to answer, I applaud you. If you have resilient enough armor to feel like nothing has changed between your relationship with the world, I have a lot to learn from you, is all I have to say. During these high holy days, I've been wearing the clothes I used to wear before the pandemic. I didn't have a lot of use for ties and colored shirts during lockdown, gathering dust in the back of my closet until now. And when I look in the mirror before services, I'm reminded of who I used to be. But just reminded, not the same. Of course, there are little things that distinguish who I am today from who I was. Believe it or not, my hair was halfway down my back before the pandemic. That was a dramatic change. And I can't go at the same pace of life that I used to. I need more rest, more breaks from socializing and work. But the deepest, most profound change is my relationship to optimism. In the face of it all, I still believe the same things. I believe in striving for truth. I believe that love is the best thing we do as human beings, and working towards justice is an extension of that love. And I believe that people at their core are good, but hope takes more work now. My expectations for my life are different, and I'm learning to live with that. I don't know if there's return after changes like that. If what I'm saying connects for you, if you don't have that tough as nails armor and you're starting to feel different from who you were, fear not, because Maimonides has answers. In the fine print, if you will, of Maimonides' work on Teshuvah, there are some alternative options. You can make choices in alignment with the 3 steps of Teshuvah, cry out to God, change your behavior, do acts of charity. Or you can do one of these 2 things. Change your name so that you are distinguished from the person that you were before. You're a different person now, you have a new name. Or you can live in exile, leave your home. Maimonides believes that this is change enough. As someone who just moved across the country, I'm not so sure. This is all to say, those felt like cop-outs to me the first time I read them. Does that really atone for sin? But now I hear something else from Maimonides. I hear a gentle invitation. If return does not feel accessible to you, be someone else. Go somewhere else. This is embarrassing to admit, but the moment I knew I had really changed during the pandemic was when I stopped being able to pray. It wasn't a conscious choice I made. It wasn't out of anger or something I did on principle. It happened slowly. Prayer just became harder. Whenever I prayed, I found myself picking at my exact headspace. Did I have the proper kavanah? Was I really available to connect with the divine? I would pick at myself until I wanted to avoid my talit and siddur entirely. I didn't know how to sit alone with God anymore. And then one day I realized I was being a hypocrite. If I believed in B'Tselem Elohim, that I was made in the divine image, that all people are made in the divine image, there's nothing about me that's not holy. There's no version of me that's not holy. So, with a lot of apprehension and even more anxiety, I picked up my siddur again. I sat in prayer, and as my fears emerged, I met them with open arms. Instead of shooing them away, I said, God, thank you for this pain. Fear, hurt, and anxiety remind me of what I care about. They tell me what I value. They show me that I'm alive and I want to fight to make this world a better place. I thank God for the things I struggle with every time I pray now. At first it felt strange, but now it feels necessary. That feels like showing up as who I am, not forcing myself to be someone who I once was. Wholeness, but not return. If you are still hoping or waiting for return, I can leave you with 3 bits of wisdom that I learned from a master of return, a modern Maimonides, my cat Casper. 1, Casper never runs far away. He's usually in our yard or the yard next door, just being very quiet and hiding well. The things you miss about yourself might not be far away, just dormant. 2, when Casper comes home, he's always hungry and thirsty. Make sure to nourish yourself if you're feeling lost. 3, Casper always comes home, but he comes home on his own timeline, not mine. Be patient with yourself. May we all find our way to return, wholeness, or both soon, and may our pets all stay safe indoors. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yashko.
Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova once again. Just a few announcements before we conclude our service. It is a joy to welcome Ezra Leventhal as our student rabbi, one of our two student rabbis to the congregation. Don't worry, we are an all-inclusive, all-welcoming congregation, so cats I will begrudgingly accept. As long as it's what? We'll talk later. There's nothing really happening at the temple in the next week or two, so there's not really much to announce on. But if you are interested in Kol Nidre or Yom Kippur or whatnot, you can check out our schedule. Again, like last week, before services, we'll be sending out this week at Anshe Amos email. When you get that this week at Anshe Amos email, it'll have the links for all the different places you can stream the service if you're streaming it from home. If you have signed up for tickets and have suddenly said, the world has changed enough between last week and this week, and I don't feel comfortable coming into the temple, please call the temple with as much notice as you can so that we can remove your seats from the chart and release them so that other people can come in who might want to be in person for Kol Nidre or would like to come up from the amphitheater. The seating committee, which again has requested to be anonymous this year, has put a lot of work into the seating arrangements. The more notice you can give us, the best, even if it's earlier in the day. That way we know what to do with the amphitheater service or what not to do with the amphitheater service. So just, if you can, let us know ahead of time. It's greatly appreciated. Also, many of you have been asking about disaster relief from the last hurricane. The New Brunswick Fire Department is accepting donations on September 12th, 15th, and 18th from 10 to 7. They are doing it at at the Burnett Street station, as well as over here on Joyce Kilmer. At both stations, they're going to be accepting anything non-perishable food, small appliances, dishes, cleaning supplies, sanitary supplies, new or gently used clothing or shoes, beverages, water, soda. Essentially, if it doesn't go bad or rot, they'll take it and give it. There are a lot of people in New Brunswick who were kicked out of their homes, either because they're in basement apartments that flooded, that they can't live there anymore. A bunch of people found themselves without homes this last storm. So if there's anything that's been sitting in your house that you've been waiting to get rid of, now is a good opportunity to do so and help those who need it greatly. I know many of you have also asked, what are we doing about the Afghanistan refugees? We've been talking with Interfaith Rise, which is our state-sponsored or state-endorsed, State Department-endorsed refugee resettlement organization that we helped found in this area. We are still waiting to get some refugees in. We are always accepting stuff that can be used to furnish apartments. If you're interested, just let us know, and when we get some refugees in, we'll come together to do something to help settle them and make them feel like they're at home. Our thanks this evening to Dave Schlossberg for the beautiful music and lifting the notes of the page of the prayer book off the page. And at the conclusion of our service, we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi right here on the Bima, so that those of you who are joining us from home are able to do Kiddush and Motzi with us. I believe that there should be oneg packages outside that are sponsored by Becky Friedman and Mark Tauber in honor of Sabrina's bat mitzvah tomorrow, which we're greatly looking forward to. So thank you to you. On this Shabbat Eve, as we join together as one congregation to celebrate creation and the joy of life and living, we turn our thoughts to those in our community for whom life has become precarious because of health or hospitalization. O God of healing, in our hearts we name those facing illness and pain. We join our prayers together with the prayers of those who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen them the healing powers you place within us all. and guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and their families. And may they find even greater strength as our prayers are linked to theirs. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu hu yevarechet hacholim, refuat hanefesh u'refuat haguf, hashta'a b'ga'ala v'zman karif and nomar. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless those in need of healing. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, as together we say, Amen. We continue now on page 282 as we rise in either body or spirit for Elenu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
This part of our prayer for Elenu, we speak of a time where all can live at one and we can all be at peace together. Instead of our traditional words cueing by Yom HaHu, on that day we will all be one, I want us to turn to different words commemorating the anniversary of 9/11. It can be found on your service sheet, on our slides, or at home on the sheet that was sent home. Powerful God, our refuge and our strength, we turn to you for peace and security as we recall the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attack. We thank you for the bravery and the sacrifice of those who saved lives as firefighters, rescue crews, or people aboard United 93. Comfort and strengthen the family and friends of those who died. Give healing and patience to the survivors of the attacks who are living with continued physical or psychological pain. May those who survived feel gratitude, not guilt. Assure each person whose life changed forever of your protection and strength. Dispel the nightmares, silence the anxiety. May we learn to depend on the security you offer. We pray for your peace as we remember the terrorist attacks of 9/11. May our suffering from these attacks awaken in us an awareness of the pain and fear that so many around the world live with each day. May we know how to pray for those who struggle against oppression and injustice. As we hear terrorist activity around the world, quiet our fears, heal the wounded of these attacks, and help their family and friends rest in your security. Guide the choices of our world leaders. Give them wisdom and discernment, not only as they work to resolve the lasting effects of the 9/11 attacks, but also as they try to alleviate terror of all sorts, from genocide to hunger, from drought to bombings. May their actions bring your peace to all people of the world. Gracious God, our world changed with the 9/11 attacks. We have seen how easily buildings can fall and how quickly lives can end. As we remember 9/11, may it remind us that you are only true security. Give us your strength to face the memory of this attack and the changes it made in our lives. Give us your compassion to help each other and recognize needs around the world. Give us your hope as we face an uncertain future. Give us your peace. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved, cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully. Even in the shadow of our loss, for each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. And affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one, whose life now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. With hearts that ache and are saddened, we name now those whom death has recently taken from us, those whose families are observing the Shloshim. We remember Daniel Isaacson, father of Nikki Isaacson, father-in-law of Jay Crossan, grandfather of David and Alon. We remember Gertrude Klaus, sister of Sylvia Jaskowitz. We remember Arnold Cohen, husband of Barbara Cohen, brother-in-law to Bob Davis. We remember Natalie Ellen Kazin, sister of Hillary Friedman, sister-in-law to Joel, aunt of Jody and Michael. And we remember Jerry Grunfest, husband of Sandra, father of Leslie, father-in-law to Ricardo, father of Robert, father-in-law to Colleen, and grandfather to Elizabeth, Joshua, and Abigail. We also think now of Morden Leventhal, the brother of Linda Peck, whose funeral will be this Sunday. On this Shabbat Eve, we also recall those dear ones who died at this season in years past, whose names we record with love in our service booklet this evening. Their names are forever bound to our hearts and are permanently inscribed throughout our building. And if you are here to say Kaddish for a loved one, either here in the sanctuary or here with us at home, please say their names as they look out to the congregation. And if names overlap or if names are not heard, do not worry, for the one who needs to hear them all will hear them all. Zikronam livracha. May all their names and memories only be for a blessing. I invite all the mourners to rise, if able, followed by all of us as one congregation to commemorate those who tragically lost their lives 20 years ago, tomorrow. We continue with Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'kadash shemei rabbah. Bi'alma divrach rotev v'amlik malchuteh. B'chai echon v'yom echon v'chai dekol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah b'richu. Leila minko birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim alinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom alenu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel and to all humanity, to which we say, Amen.
This evening's service with the singing of Adon Olam on page 321. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa B'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kiklot HaKol la 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 ויהי בוקר יום השישי. ויכלו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו. בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. טיבנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Good reaction. We join with Sabrina for Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Real quick closing benediction. May God bless you with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships so that you may live deep within your heart. May God bless you with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation so that you may work for justice, freedom, and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer so that you may reach out your hand and comfort them. And may God bless you with enough foolishness to believe you can make a difference in the world so that you can do what others claim cannot be done. Shabbat Shalom.